Hey everyone, back for another one. It's Monday. I forget the date. Doesn't even matter. It's Monday. And gonna try some different stuff today. Gonna work up here in Mount Pleasant. Gonna try to sit on top of the Myers, try to get some good shops. If you watch my last video, you'll understand that they're suggesting tips higher for shops to the customers, and they are suggesting lower tips for food orders. You can check that video out. It was the one that I did before this. So we're going to try some new theories, some new strategies, see if we can't make a little more money today. So other than that, we'll take you along for the ride. Just got the first order dropped off. Took about an hour. But there were some other orders in there. They weren't very good. But while we were waiting, we were getting at least like 3 notifications popped up from DoorDash for like heat advisory warnings and storms in the area. So hopefully the storms do hit and it cools off a little bit. That would be nice, because it's like 88 degrees right now. So we'll go from there. Keep on keeping on. Like I said, I just dropped the first one off. It was $7.25 from Ponderosa, and just a couple of miles, which is the typical average run I take. Hopefully we can get a lot of those chained together quickly. So we'll see you when we get the next one. All right, just dropped off a $10 CVS pharmacy shop. It was a fan and a bag of cat food. So that didn't take very long. Paid $10. Seems like the shops are more lucrative now when you can get the smaller ones. The suggested tips are higher, so hopefully we can get some more of those as well. Man, it's hot out here. 90 degrees now. So just taking some chill runs. Don't want to do any big shops today. I mean, I will if they're paying very well, but prefer to do food delivery when it's super hot. So on the way to drop off this $6.75 plus Culver's order, but I have a prediction on it. I think this order is going to be about $7 or it's going to be $7.25, and this is going to be my guess. I'm going to guess the customer in the back end either tips $3.50 or $4 for this order, given the subtotal. But on this, it's a plus order, so I can almost guarantee you the base pay on this is not going to be $2. It's going to be like $2.50 or $2.75, somewhere in there. That's going to make this a $7 order. It seems like on the plus orders is where DoorDash adds money to the base pay to make it a plus order, to force it into a plus order, to show us something that will get the order delivered. Just another sign of their manipulation. If you watch my past video, you'll see, and I go into more depth explaining why they're doing what they're doing. But we'll see. I'll let you know when I drop it off. Well, it was partially right and partially wrong. The customer tipped $5, but DoorDash did indeed add money to the $2 base pay. It was $2.25, so the order went $7.25. So I was right on the guess of how much the order would be, wrong on how much the customer tipped. But that's what it seems like on the plus orders. DoorDash always adds money, not necessarily to force a plus, but it just seems that there's always extra base pay on plus orders. So I know it's hot out there and I hate walking stairs, but I believe, yeah, we're 94 degrees now. So, and it's humid. So we'll see you on the next order. All right, quick morality check for those people out there. It is currently 95 degrees, which means in my trunk it's probably anywhere from 95 degrees to a little over 100 degrees. Let's talk about triples on DoorDash, triple on Instacarts, doubles on Shipt. And I don't care if you even have a cooler bag. The fact of the matter is if you take ice cream and say they're 10, 15 miles out, 20 miles out, and they're the last one to be dropped off, even if you put their ice cream or their cold items in a grocery cooler bag, even if it's heavily insulated, in a 100-degree trunk for that amount of time, the stuff is going to melt, and that can't be healthy. And these apps, they know about this. They don't do anything about it. Walmart Spark's just as bad. They'll put ice cream and stuff at the end of thing, and then you don't even have control unless you get back out of your vehicle and put it in the cooler bags, because you're not allowed out of your vehicle at most Walmarts to even help them unload or load your vehicle. So if they crush your bread, that's on you, etc., etc. It's a whole nother topic. But needless to say, you have very little control unless you get out, take extra time to reorganize what they did or find things they destroyed. But the fact of the matter is in, you know, when food is in temperatures of over 100 degrees, no cooler bag is going to stop the melt. It'll help. It will definitely help. But yeah, that's just one of my takeaways. So I just told the passenger princess, I'm like, we're not going to run triple orders today. I'm not going to be liable for delivering food to somebody that could have gotten warm. So it is what it is. Just dropped off a $6.25 order, bringing me to a little bit over $30. So yay, just broke $10 an hour for the first 3 hours. So back kind of on track, but it's the slowest part of the day. But even when it picks up, the problem's going to be, you know, which $6 orders do you take? Obviously, you take the ones that you think are going to be done quicker. In my case, because I can selectively choose a lot better than others because of my account. So hopefully I can pick some good $6 out that don't have weights and rip them out as quickly as possible, because that seems to be the new meta. The only time you can really get a boost when you're running just DoorDash by itself is when you get a decent shop, or you get a couple stacks, or you get somebody who manually entered a tip. So there you have it. And let's get on to the next one. Going to pick up a $14.15 plus order, Taco Bell and a 7-Eleven. The crazy thing is they sent me the original large order for Taco Bell at $9.75 for 4 miles. I declined it out of principle because the tips on those are just so small now with the suggested in the background, and a lot of people use the suggested. So I passed on it out of principle. I'm not going to do DoorDash's dirty work for them at lower pay than what I used to get. So then it combines it with a Taco Bell going to the same customer, but now it's $14.15 plus, which it's not going to go up a lot. I understand and realize that, but man, I got like $5-6 more for just declining on it. Hopefully it goes up 50 cents to $1, but yeah. Got that all dropped off. Went 15 and some change. Same customer, I'll take it. And then as soon as I drop that off, grabbed ALDI shop. It's 33 unique items, and it was $33, and get that shopped, and we'll see you after I get it shopped, show that to you, and then drop it off. Got that dropped off, just a few pennies short of $80. That puts us 5 hours in for 80. Pretty good. I'll take it. And off to the next one. Actually, you know, some of these ghetto places, man, I got like 4 trailers knocked down in this place. Everything looks like it's falling apart in this trailer park, but yet you get some really decent customers in here that understand and appreciate hard work. There was a $25 tip on that. So absolutely off to the next one. Also, I'd like to clarify for some people out there, I actually had a viewer talking about how catering was done usually through each company's website. And that is the case, but when you hear a driver talking about large orders, and or talking about catering. These are two different things. In our system, when we got orders, it used to say large order dash catering, but now it says just catering. So when I reference large order, I'm talking about any order that's over $100 used to be classified as a large order. And then there's catering, which was separate, which involves sometimes setup and then sometimes it doesn't. So when I reference large order, that's any order over $100 that's not catering. They're two different things. And they used to be signified in the app. They aren't now. So when a large order comes to your phone, it actually has the catering tag on it. So just a clarification. Yeah, I've let 4 large orders go today, all ranging between $9 and $15. And those same orders used to pay a lot more when DoorDash set the recommendeds higher. Those used to be anywhere from probably $18 to $30 to $40 on those runs. So I actually just shut my dashing off. I took a nice Shipt. It's a $12 base pay, $12 estimated. Go and get that shopped up. And it's only going like 7 miles or something like that, 30 items, so nothing too terrible. Hey, it was one of my farmhouse deliveries. So I don't know what the tip is yet. I know it was an estimated 12. You'll know what the tip is because when it comes in, if it comes in, I'll show it. So yeah, off to the next one. Just took a 675 plus, heading about a couple miles. Probably not going to go much more than $7. That's just the trend with these plus orders. They're usually between $7 and $9, somewhere in there. You might occasionally, 1 out of every 100, get one that goes up to above 10, but they're just using it to get orders delivered, and that's fine. They're still worth it if you can get them in a row and consistently. The problem is you're waiting a half hour just to get one. So if you don't get shops or you don't have your shops on, you're gonna struggle out here big time. So there you have it. Just dropped that off. It was $7.50. I've had enough of tonight. Gonna call it. Made $115 in a little over 7 hours. A lot of people would be happy with that. That's not even half of what I usually make when the orders are what they're supposed to be. This whole reduced suggested tip, customers, they tend to hit the suggested tip button, and DoorDash lowered that in the back end, so we're not making nearly as much out here. So I'm probably gonna put DoorDash on pause for a while and try to run some of the apps in bigger markets, because I can't afford to run like this. It's, with fuel as expensive as it is, just can't do it. I've got to utilize my other apps here and find a way to make those work in other markets. So that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed the ride along there. I mean, I didn't do bad, but there's not enough consistent $6 and $7 runs to go back to back to back to back to make decent money. So until it gets busier in the market or DoorDash changes something, which they're not going to, they hardly ever revert anything that they do. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm probably going to try to run Lansing or somewhere around Lansing tomorrow with Instacart and Shipt. I'll have DoorDash on, of course, but that'll only be looking for bigger shops. Running food orders for them, nah, done for a while. Take care, guys.